Good morning, good morning. You're cooking with Calatina today. How are you? So today, a dish inspired me that I saw online. I'm going to change it up a little bit, add a few extra things that they didn't have in there to make it more savory, more tasty, because I know my family. And if I did it the way the recipe said it would be, they probably wouldn't like it. So I'm changing it up just a little bit, okay? To tell you the truth, I saw this on the internet, and then by the time I realized what I was seeing, I totally didn't even see where it came from. So I have no idea, like, what channel it came from, or, you know, it's one of those fast cooking recipes that you always see on Facebook and stuff. But I'm changing it up a little bit, you know, just make it a little bit more savory for my family. How's that? I tell you what, my cat woke me up this morning, Sophia. She woke me up at 6:30, man. I normally don't get up till about 7:20. And she was slapping me in the face. I didn't know exactly what in the world was happening, you know. I thought it was my husband for a minute. Like, what the heck is he doing? And it was a cat. It's like, I've never had that before, you know? Like, what is going on? Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to saute an onion, which in the original recipe it does not have. So I'm going to saute an onion, cut up some chives or some green onion. I didn't have the mozzarella. I have very little of the mozzarella because I used it on my lasagna that I made. I made an amazing lasagna, you guys. I'll have to make it for you. I made 2 trays, and I cooked one tray for Sunday. And then the other tray, I froze it so that we can have it for another day. Because I cooked now the sauce that I cooked for the lasagna is similar to the sauce that I have for the spaghetti sauce. Except for it does not have rosemary in it. It only has thyme. And there was something else that I didn't put in there that... because the flavors had to be a little different than the regular spaghetti sauce. So some of you probably use the same spaghetti sauce anyway in making the lasagna, and I just changed it up a little bit so that it didn't have the same flavors. It had something else. I put more thyme in there, and I took out the rosemary. I'll think about it and let you know. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, I changed it up. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just chopping up 1 onion. This was not in the recipe. I am making it more savory. And then I'm going to go ahead and caramelize them first. We were cooking last night with my son. Oh my God, I'll show you guys. We made amazing bulatza. Actually, he did all the work, but amazing bulatza. Very simple and easy to make. Untraditional, which is the way that they normally make the bulatza in Greece. Untraditional, but next time we're going to make it traditional. But still, the amazing flavors that had was just phenomenal. Just amazing. And then the day before, my son goes, hey, let's make some pastella, which is with sesame seeds. It's a Greek thing. And I said, all right, let's do it. So he made amazing pastella. I'll show that. I got one left over, so I could show you what that is too. But let me start my onions real quick, because I need them to caramelize. Now this is a chicken dish. It's going to bake in the oven at 350. Well, you know, you need your chicken to cook for about 45 minutes, you mean? So, at least. And that's what we're going to do here at 350. I am not with it this morning, but I am here. Wasn't able to come here yesterday and do a live because we had leftover lasagna. So I'm like, I ain't cooking. So, but I don't even know what this dish is called, so I'm gonna have to name it what I name it. You'll probably find it on Facebook, but I did change it up a little bit. Hang on, almost done. All right. I just want to make them translucent and kind of not caramelize exactly, but just change color, because I don't want to put anything raw other than the chicken, because it's just going to change up the flavor. And remember, we're always building flavors. So even though the recipe says throw it all in there, I'm changing it up a little bit, okay? Because I feel with my experience that it's going to taste better if I do it the way I want to do it. So I'm doing that my way. Tina's way. Here's a piece I didn't chop. Now, how'd that get away, right? It is what it is. Well, that one's getting just a little bit caramelized, and I'm going to cut up the chicken. Let me see if I can find a tomato. I just need a tomato. I just need a tomato. I know I have some. Unless my hubby threw them out. And that would suck because that's part of my dish. But let's just see. Let's see. I need to do some digging. Girl. Okay. I think maybe I found something. Maybe. Phew. I did. Thank goodness. Oh, well, it's not the greatest tomato, but we're going to use it. I had some other ones, but I can't find them right now, so I guess I'm just going to use this one here. It's a little bit pitted, a little bit dry, but that's okay. It's still good. It's not bad. So, we found one. We found one! Okay. So my onions look good. They don't smell raw anymore. They smell like they're cooked. In the meantime, I turned on the oven to 350 to warm it up. Okay? Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn that off because I don't need that right now. I'm going to go ahead and cut up the chicken and get that ready. You know, you got that little itch on the nose. Holy cow. Okay. That's gone. All right, let's put it down a little bit so you can see. So I bought these strips. Now you can just get a breast of chicken and cut them up like that. I bought them already pre-cut like that. So I'm going to go ahead and chop them up that size, okay? Because we want it to cook fast, but we want it to be a little chunky, you know what I mean? We don't want it to just completely dissolve. My oven's ready. Now this is about a pound of of chicken, okay? I've got more to cut, so you need about a pound. So that's what this recipe tells you. The caramelization of the onions, because in this recipe it did not have onions. It did not have garlic. We're going to put garlic. We're going to put some, we're going to make it a little bit more savory. I felt that what they put in there was just not enough flavoring. But, you know, remember, a lot of the recipes that they show you on Facebook or whatever, I don't think it's got the appropriate flavoring. You know what I mean? You can always, you know, up it up a notch and just make it a little bit more gourmet than what they're telling you. You know what I mean? It's almost like a chicken casserole of some sort. This is definitely American cuisine, because we don't have something like that. I mean, we have it a different way, but we don't have anything like this. So, I am just shy of a pound. And that's just because I didn't measure right when I took it out of the freezer. But that's more than plenty for 3 people to eat. Actually, it's probably more than plenty in chicken for someone to eat. So I am going to flip this bad boy around. I definitely don't want the chicken contamination. I'm going to clean my hands and my knife. Okay. So there's the chicken. We stuck it in there, right? We're going to go ahead and put in a tablespoon of olive oil. My son had powdered sugar in that one. Okay. We're also going to put a half a teaspoon of oil in the, I don't have a glass bowl, so I'm just going to use my iron skillet or my iron, I'll show you in a second. All right, so then we're going to put pepper. We're going to put a little garlic, which was not in the recipe. And remember, we're making it a little bit more savory. Okay. We're going to put a little bit of Mrs. Dash. All right. And a little bit of thyme. None of this stuff was in there. Only salt and pepper was in the recipe. Okay. And we're going to test this recipe on my guys. And I will tell you guys next time I'm on, or on my Facebook, how that was, because I'm interested to know myself. All right, so Okay, so we've got all of that stuff. Now in here, we want to go ahead and, okay, we're done with that. Normally, it's a big glass that goes into the oven. So you would use that kind of size bowl. But I don't have one right this minute, so I'm just going to use my cast iron pot, okay? And I just got to watch the temperature on that because those do get hotter. And you want to make sure that you're, you know. So I've got 3 eggs. And I'm using the whole thing. Now my mother always did it a little differently because she would crack an egg into a bowl, make sure it was okay, then put it in there. Crack it into a bowl because if you got a bad one, you don't want to ruin the whole pot of eggs. You know what I mean? Okay, so I've got the eggs. I'm going to put a little bit of salt and pepper in the eggs too. Because remember, we're keeping that leveling up. I did not put any salt, I don't think, in the chicken. So I'm going to go ahead and do that too. Oh, I know what's that. All right, and then it just says to beat these up a little bit. And then you're gonna use 10 ounces of sour cream, okay? This one here is 14 ounces. But I think my husband used some of this, so I'm just going to measure to the best of my ability. If this is 14 ounces and we need 10, I'm sure he's used at least 4 ounces. So, all right, so let me get another one. Put a little bit more. And then you can also measure it out in a bowl, okay? But I am pretty sure that this here is about 10 ounces. So, all right, so we're gonna go ahead and mix that in with the egg. See how it's becoming white and creamy? Make sure you work all sides. Okay, so I kind of made it into a really nice sauce. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna put this aside real quick and I'm gonna assemble. I'm gonna use one of these because I don't have right now. Sometimes my husband puts stuff away and I never know where he puts it. Now I put a little bit, like a half a tablespoon of butter, and I'm gonna go up the sides with it too, because remember, it's chicken. We don't know how far it's gonna go up, so we don't want to be doing that afterwards. So just take it as far as you think your dish is gonna go. Obviously, this is too thick, you know what I mean, but too tall. This is what I got today, folks. folks. All right, so I did that, right? I'm gonna go ahead and take the chicken and take my onions that I cooked and marinate my onions with that real quick. And that's gonna kick it up a little flavor too, a little sweetness to this sour cream. So I'm just mixing the chicken right now with the onion, the salt and pepper all over. Just getting that onion everywhere. So when it cooks, it's got onion in all the pieces. Now you could cook up a notch one more time and you could stick this back in the pan and sizzle it before you stick it in there. I'm going to go ahead and follow the recipe as raw because it's going to bake in the oven. So I'm going to go ahead and pour that in. Okay. Put all that onion in there. And I'm going to put that on the bottom. I already oiled the pan, so, okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and take this stuff here and put it all on top of the chicken. Just make sure that all your chicken is covered in it. Okay. Then we're gonna use, normally you would put mozzarella. I don't have a lot of mozzarella, so I'm gonna go ahead and use what I've got. Will it change up the flavor? Well, yeah, it will. But that's okay. I mean, you're not doing a major, you know. So it says for 1 cup. So I'm going to put in a 1/2 cup on top. Okay. All right. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut up my tomato. Cut it up in slices. I don't know if you could see, but okay. And then I'm gonna stick them on top. Okay, just like that. I want to put some Parmesan cheese. That's something they didn't have. So I want to put some Parmesan cheese because I'm making it more savory, okay? Remember, these guys, my guys, I don't know about your guys, but my guys, they, you know, they want to eat something hearty. They don't want to, you know, eat something that's bland, or this is my family. I got a little bit of Parmesan, so I'm going to stick, or mozzarella. So I'm going to stick that on top. I don't have a whole lot, but and I love cheese, so I would definitely put more than what it tells you. Just, you know, it is what it is for me. All right, so I put some mozzarella on there, and I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit more of the multicolor put about 1.25 cups so far of cheese, okay? All right, so then that's the end of the dish, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the oven right now, and I'm gonna let it cook uncovered. I'm gonna put a little bit of garlic on top, and a little bit more of the Mrs. Dash. And now I want to go ahead and put it in the oven. At 350 for 45 minutes. Or keep an eye on it, okay? If it gets too brown, because it's going to get brown on top. So if it gets too brown on top, you might have to cover it with foil and then let the rest of the chicken cook inside, okay? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and cut up my green onions, because I'm gonna put that on top when it comes out of the oven, and get that taken care of. And that'll be the design that I have on top. So it's going to have a little bit of raw something on top as a garnish, okay? So I'm going to keep that to the side. So when it does come out, I can sprinkle that. That's it for the recipe, okay? So now we're going to let it cook. I wanted to show you, I'll take pictures after it's done, and then I'll post them on my Facebook so you can see what it looks like, okay? So we upped it up a notch. We did more flavoring. We did a little bit more savory with the onions. We caramelized the onions separately, stuck it in the raw chicken, salt, pepper, Mrs. Dash, a little bit of thyme, definitely some sour cream and with eggs. So that's gonna make it almost like a bechamel sauce, but not really, because I know how to make bechamel sauce and it's a little different. But it's a fake bechamel sauce with the eggs and the sour cream, okay? That's what I'm going to tell you kind of what it is. So that's going to cook for 45 minutes. I'll keep checking every 15 minutes. Check on it to make sure it doesn't get black on top and it's just cooked, okay? Just to perfection. All right, that's it. I wanted to show you, that's the recipe, okay? Now I wanted to show you guys what we made that I talked about earlier. So this here is called pastelli, okay? So in the pastelli, it has the sesame seeds, it has the honey, it has a little bit of lemon, and you can always put in there some almonds or some, what do you call the, it'll come to me. It's the grapes that you sun dry. I forgot what they're called. You know what I mean, right? They're black or white, whatever. Okay, it'll come to me. It'll be too late. So, so you can, and then you just, all you do is just, you know, cook it over the stove a little bit, and then you pour it onto your pan and make sure it's got parchment paper on there, And then then you can cut it up in blocks. Cut it up in blocks while it's warm, because afterwards it's supposed to be nice and crunchy. Okay, so yeah, that was a good recipe for that. And then last night we made bugatsa. But bugatsa is a custard. It's supposed to be a custard pocket fill. So it's like a pocket of phyllo dough. Well, in this particular case, we didn't make it that way. We put a sheets of phyllo on the bottom. We made the custard sauce. We put it in there. We put sheets on top, and we put sugar and cinnamon, and we spread that all over on top. We baked it, and then I think it was like 20 minutes we baked it, and then on top of that, we added some white powdered sugar. So, better take all that out. So there you go. It's not burnt. It's the powdered sugar. It's the sugar with the cinnamon on it, okay? And all we did is just cut it up and we ate it. So that was amazing. So we still have some left over. And it's called bugatsa. So we'll have to make that. I know a different recipe for bugatsas. I know a recipe that's more professional for bugatsas. But this was a simple, easy way to make bugatsa in a short time, and still delicious. So we're gonna have to try that one again so you guys can see. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you so much for being with me. We're gonna let that sucker cook up, and cook the chicken that's in there that was raw. We can also take that chicken and saute it with the onions, and then put it in there to finish off cooking. We could have done that too, but I kind of kept that raw and fixed the onions. So hopefully it's got good flavor. I'll let you guys know later today when I post it on my Facebook as to how well they took it when they ate it for lunch. All right, see you guys later. All right, bye-bye.